Hello and good morning to you. This is Dr. Bill Bledsoe bringing you another morning session of prayer through Sacred Heart Yoga that heals our minds and our bodies every day at the same time. It's the best way, prayer is the very best way to start any day for the rest of your life. If you do that, you will become an honored servant of God. So we'll begin by saying the opening prayers. I'll say them, thanking God for this method of prayer. God, I thank you for bringing us this method of prayer, this ancient method of prayer, of us praying our heartfelt prayers out loud to you in the privacy of our own homes, of each of us doing body movements that heal our bodies while our prayers heal our minds, our spirits, and our souls. Thank the generations that have brought this to us, from the house of Abraham, the house of David, from Jesus, his mother Mary, Father Joseph, Mary Magdalene, and Virginia Ellen, who wrote the book called Sacred Heart Yoga, so that anybody in the world can practice this ancient method of prayer anytime they want. Now, if you'll repeat after me, we'll do the Sacred Heart Yoga morning prayer. Beloved, I devote this practice this day to the evolution of my soul, to the fulfillment of my destiny, in service to you, to the One. And I allow myself to be purified, cleansed of fear, as I rejoice in the kingdom of heaven and the love of God. And I give thanks for these blessings, these moments I share with my body and my spirit in oneness with you. And so it is. Amen. Now we're going to clear our energy fields of any distraction, anything that might be bothering us, getting in the way of our walk with God, concentrating on our prayers and making them truly heartfelt, saying them aloud. And we do this, we begin by putting our hand up to the 12 o'clock position, make a big arc over to the 3 o'clock position, over to the right knee, left knee, 9 o'clock position, and back up to the 12 o'clock position. And as we do this motion, our prayers, repeat after me, our prayers begin with, God, I clear my energy field of anyone or anything standing within. I bless them and I send them to your light. Om. Now we come to a very important part of the Sacred Heart Yoga. We're going to, each of us in the privacy of our own homes, ask God, how may I serve you this day? And the answer usually comes to me in a short image or just one or two words. And then as I pray, I repeat these thoughts throughout the whole prayer for the rest of the Sacred Heart Yoga. And usually by the time I'm done at the end, I have a good, clear understanding of what I'm supposed to do. So we do this by putting our right hand over our hearts. And here our prayers begin with, God, how may I serve you this day? Om. Now we're going to stand and announce what came to us. In the privacy of our own homes, we'll announce what intention came to us for this day. So we do this by putting our palms out forward, standing up straight and tall. And here our prayers begin with, God, how may I serve you this day? Now, our prayers begin with, my intention to serve you this day is to Om. Now we sit back. Nope, not yet. Contractual agreements are made in Aramaic by saying the word Amen 3 times. So here we're going to sing it aloud 3 times. Any tune that feels right to you, as loud as you want, in the privacy of your own home. Amen. 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 Now we're going to sit back down and lay down on our backs. We always start and return to resting position, which is our arms at our sides, our feet outstretched. We begin by pulling our right knee up to our chest and holding it here. And our prayers begin with, Father, I love you and I thank you for Om. Now we take our right foot in our left hand and let our right knee fall down to the mat. Our right arm goes straight up above our head, stretched out down to the mat, and our prayers begin with, Father, I love you and I thank you for Om. Now we take our right foot in our right hand and hold it down to our pelvis. Our left arm goes straight up above our heads this time and down to the mat. And here our prayers begin with, Father, I love you and I thank you for Om. Now our right foot goes straight up to the heavens, keeping our left arm up above our heads, stretched out down to the mat. And our prayers begin with, Father, I love you and I thank you for Om. Now we let our right foot go straight up to the heavens and fall out to the right side of our body, down to the mat. And our arms go straight out to the sides from our shoulders, extended out down to the mat, palms up. And we open our pelvis as wide as we can, and here our prayers begin with, Father, I love you, and I thank you for Om. Now we turn our heads to the right, and our right foot goes up over across our bodies over to the left side. And here our prayers begin with, God, Father, I love you and I thank you for Om. Now we go back to resting position and we pull our left knee up to our chest, holding it there with our arms and our hands. And here our prayers begin with, Mother, I love you and I thank you for. Om. Now we pull our left foot over to our right thigh. Let our left knee go down to the mat. Our left arm goes straight up above our heads. And here our prayers begin with, Mother, I love you and I thank you for. Om. Now we hold our left foot in our left hand, holding it down near our pelvis. Our right arm goes straight up above our heads, stretched out down to the mat. And here our prayers begin with, Mother, I love you and I thank you for. Om. Now we point our left foot straight up to the heavens. And here our prayers begin with, Mother, I love you and I thank you for. Om. Now we let our left foot go straight up into the heavens and fall out to the left side of our bodies, opening our pelvis wide as it goes down to the mat. Our arms go straight out from our shoulders, down to the mat again, palms up. And here our prayers begin with, Mother, I love you and I thank you for. Om. Now we turn our heads to the left, and our left leg goes up over across our bodies over to the right side, keeping our shoulders down flat on the mat. And here our prayers begin with, Mother, I love you and I thank you for. Om. Now we go back to resting position, arms at our sides, our feet outstretched. And we pull our knees up to our chests. Holding them there with our arms and our hands. And here our prayers begin with, God, I love you, and I thank you for Om. Now we hold our right foot in our right hand, our left foot in our left hand, pull the soles of our feet together, holding them down near our pelvis. And here our prayers begin with, God, I love you, and I thank you for Om. Now we pull our feet apart down near our pelvis, and here our prayers begin with, God, I love you, and I thank you for Om. Now we point both feet up towards the heavens. And here our prayers begin with, God, I love you, and I thank you for Om. Now we let our feet go down to the mat near our pelvis, and our arms extend out this time from our shoulders again. And this time they're down on the mat, but our palms are downward on the mat. Our feet are near our pelvis, and we bend our knees to the right and our head to the left, trying to touch our knees to the mat, keeping our shoulders down flat on the mat. And here our prayers begin with, God, I love you, and I thank you for Om. Now we turn our heads to the right, our knees go over to the left, down to the mat, keeping our shoulders down flat on the mat. And here our prayers begin with, God, I love you, and I thank you for Om. Now we go back to resting position. Legs outstretched, arms at our sides. And we're going to go into what's called the surrender pose. And here we surrender anything to God that troubles us, that might get in the way of our walk. Hand in hand as a little child, with God the Father on our right hand and God the Mother on our left hand. So we do this by putting our hands under our sit bones. And we lean forward on our elbows and we try to touch the tops of our heads back down to the mat. And as we do this, our prayers will begin with, God, I surrender to you. Om. Now we lay back down in resting position. And we take and put our left hand up towards the heavens as high as we can. And let it fall over to the right side of our body, stretching our left shoulder. And we take our right hand halfway between our left arm and left shoulder and pull our arm a little bit farther. And here our prayers begin with, God, being totally in service to you, I choose to. Om. Now we take our right hand up towards the heavens, let it fall over to the left side of our bodies, and our left hand holds our right arm halfway between our right shoulder and right elbow. And here our prayers begin with, God, only in service to you, I can. Om. Now we go back to resting position, and this time we pull our feet up to our pelvis and let our knees, the soles of our feet together, our knees fall out to the sides. This forms a triangle below our bodies. This is a tabernacle, a house of God. We form a second tabernacle or triangle above our hearts by putting our hands in prayer position over our hearts and extending them up 2/3 of the way up to the heavens. And in this tabernacle of our hearts, we find God's beautiful chalice filled with anything we could ever need or desire, being in the service to God. Now we take and here our prayers begin with, God, I drink from your chalice, your wonderful gift to me of. Om. Now we take our hands, still in prayer position, move them down to the mat above our tops of our heads. Our elbows fall out to the sides. We form a tabernacle over our entire bodies, and here our prayers begin with, God, I thank you for your healing of my mind, my body, my spirit, and my soul. Om. Now we take our hands, keeping them in prayer position, move our thumbs up to our foreheads, and we're going to start the anointing series. And we will anoint 3 different times. And it's 4 postures each time. So we take our thumbs up to our foreheads, and our prayers begin with, God, I anoint your gift to me of. Om. Now we take our thumbs down to our lips, and here our prayers begin with, God, I bless and I dedicate only in service to you, your gift to me of. Om. Now we take our hands down in prayer position over our hearts, and our prayers begin with, God, I truly thank you for this gift of. Om. Now we do a motion. We point our fingers down into our abdomens and extend our arms out to the 3 o'clock and then 12 o'clock and then 9 o'clock positions. And as we do this motion, our prayers begin with, God, I fill my body, my mind, my spirit, and my soul with your healing gift to me of. Om. Now we take our thumbs down to our lips, and here our prayers begin with, God, I bless and I dedicate only in service to you this gift of. Om. Now we take our hands down over our hearts in prayer position, and here our prayers begin with, God, I truly thank you for this gift that you've given me of. Om. Now we take our fingers and put them into our abdomens, extending them out to the 3 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock positions. And here our prayers begin with, God, I fill my mind, my body, my spirit, and my soul with your loving gift to me of all. Now we take our thumbs back to our foreheads and our prayers begin with, God, I anoint your gift to me of all. Now we take our thumbs down to our lips and our prayers begin with, God, I bless and I truly dedicate this gift to me in service to you of all. Now we take our hands down over our hearts and hear our prayers begin with, God, I truly thank you for this loving, healing gift to me of all. Now we turn our fingers down into our abdomens, moving them out to the 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, or 3 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock positions. And here our prayers begin with, God, I fill my body, my mind, my spirit, and my soul with your loving gift to me of all. Now we go back to resting position. We cross our right ankle over our left ankle, our right wrist over our left wrist, over our hearts, our fingers touching our shoulders. And here our prayers begin with, God, I thank you for protecting me, keeping me safe, and oh. Now we go back to resting position, roll over on our sides, pushing our arms, pushing our bodies up into sitting position, using our arms and our hands. And our right leg goes straight out in front of us. Our left foot goes across our right knee, holding our left knee with our right arm. We twist our head and shoulders to the left with our left arm behind our backs for support. And here our prayers begin with, desire I am, desire I am, desire I am. Only in service to you, O God, I desire. Om. Now we take our left foot straight out in front of us. Our right foot goes across our left knee. We twist to the right, holding our right hand behind our backs. And here our prayers begin with, will I am, will I am, will I am. Only in service to you, O God, I will. Om. Now we get up on our knees. Put our hands in prayer position over our hearts, and here our prayers begin with, God, I truly thank you this day for your gift to me of Om. Now we go back into, no, not sitting position. We go into child's pose, but we form a tabernacle by putting the tips of our thumbs together and the tips of our first fingers together, laying them down on the mat, and putting our foreheads down in this tabernacle. And as we do it, we just feel God's gift filling our bodies. Now we go back to sitting position. Right leg goes out to the right side. Our left foot comes up to the inside of our right leg, our right thigh. And here our prayers begin with, God, only in service to you, I am. Om. Now we switch legs. Left leg goes out in front of us. Our right foot comes up to the inside of our left thigh. And here our prayers begin with, God, only in service to you, I will. Om. Now we go back to sitting position. And our hands are palms up on our knees. Our thumbs touch our middle two fingers. And here we keep our back straight and bow at our pelvis forward. And our prayers begin with, God, I bow to your love and healing knowledge that fills my mind, my body, my spirit, and my soul. Om. Now we sit back up straight and tall once again and bow forward at our pelvis. And this time our prayers begin with, God, I bow to you, to the oneness, to the one, to God the Father, God the Mother. Om. Now we sit straight and tall and feel where we're grounded down to the mat at our pelvis. Our left and right side is grounded to the mat. On the left side, we feel God's wonderful white light of love, of nurturing, of creation of new life, recreating cells every day. This white light fills our legs to the fullest and all the way to the tips of our toes. The white light comes up through our abdomens, filling every cell and every organ in our abdomens. And it comes up into our hearts, filling our hearts, and our hearts are like glowing beacons of God's white light of love. The white light comes up through our throats and into our heads, filling our minds with the peace and love of God. The white light goes out the tops of our heads and up into the heavens high above, and it spreads out over the whole earth. It blankets the whole earth and rains down on the whole earth with God's love, his nurturing, his caring, his healing. Now we feel on the right side of our pelvis a blue light. This is the blue light of what God teaches us, of knowing, of being able to do service. This blue light comes up into our legs, all the way to the tips of our toes. Blue light fills our abdomens to the fullest, every cell in our abdomens. The blue light comes up into our hearts, filling our hearts with the knowledge as to how to heal and repair our whole bodies and to be in service to God. And the blue light goes up through our throats, into our heads, filling our heads with what we need. And the blue light goes out above our heads and up into the skies, up into the heavens high above, and spreads out over the entire blankets, the entire earth. This blue light, and it rains down upon every living creature, letting every living creature know how to repair itself, recreate itself. Now we can step up into this light above our heads. And as we do this, we can stay as long as we want. We can ask any question that we so desire. But the one question that we always want to ask before we leave is, God, what do I need to know this day?